Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to start off by looking at two common approaches that are oftentimes used when we are looking at managing our employees' performance. And this, again, is just two of them, but they're probably the two foundational pieces. We're going to talk about the behavioral approach and the results-oriented approach. So, when you're looking at the behavioral approach, we are focusing on the conduct and effort made by the member of our staff. And when we do this, eventually we can begin to map out desirable future behaviors, not only for that person as an individual, but for people who fill those positions in the future. And this is really suitable for when individual results are really difficult to kind of figure out and measure. An idea or an example of that would be, let's say you have a team that is supposed to manufacture 5 specific machine parts in the next 90 days. And let's say the team does that. Well, how do you rate each team member? You look at who shows up on time, who completes the tasks that are assigned to them. Did half of the people work really hard and really were they the ones who completed and manufactured the product? While the other half just didn't do much and hung out in the lunchroom. So I know that's a pretty basic example, but that's what we're looking for. Then we have the results-oriented approach. And this here is where we focus on the result, not the intent. And by that, I mean you could have a program, let's say it's a safety program. You create this great program, you title it Eliminating Accidents in the Manufacturing Environment. It's really complicated. You invest thousands of dollars in this program. And then at the end of the year, when you're looking at the metrics or the key performance indicators, you notice that the accidents actually increased by 2%. So a lot of awards and a lot of accolades get handed out by big programs when they have this beautiful intention. But if the result is terrible, that's what we have to grade it on. So you can look at these things in terms of quality and quantity, which is where the Six Sigma, whether it's a complete version or a lean version of Six Sigma, this is where those types of programs and methods really help us with this stuff. And these are great, or I should say not these, but specifically the results-oriented approach is great when there are a lot of ways to do a job. So you can kind of cut someone loose, tell them you'll see them at the end of the week and see what they create. Another factor to look at with this type of approach is that in most cases, they're going to have very specific success metrics. They're really easy to measure. And you can look at call center employees and sales professionals. With a call center employee, let's say they're doing cold calls, you can actually track how many outgoing calls they have per hour for the last week. And then you can take out of those calls, you can say, all right, well, how many conversions did they have? Did they convert these people to leads? And then how many of those leads did they convert to sales? Those are all very easy metrics to go ahead and document. With a sales professional, let's say they're not on the phone, but they're out knocking on doors. Maybe they're going to different types of industry events. How many names and email addresses are they collecting? How many sales right there on the spot, face-to-face sales are they making? So that's where the results approach can come into play. And I'll tell you what, the best managers tend to use both the behavioral and the results-oriented approach to create the best working environment within their industry.